October passed me by SeaSkate on ao3. Remus POV. Grimmauld place has always been dark, even since Sirius and I came back here and moved in for the odor. There was a darkness that always seemed to cling to it. All of the lights in the house could be turned on, and you would still feel like you were traipsing through a forest at night. Dark magic, the house was drenched, all but drowning in it. The room that I had taken had been cleaned of any dark creature, other than myself, on the first night, leaving only the room itself to be cleaned of the filth and grime that seemed to cling to it after years of falling into disarray from neglect. Neglect because Sirius was in fucking wizard prison and couldn't care for it. I felt an all too familiar anger start to bubble up inside of me, something that I thought that I had left behind with my youth, and yet it was making itself known once more, even as the full moon was a good bit away. Being around Sirius tended to do that these days. Casting cleaning spells, I moved around the room, trying once more to make it more livable before I laid down for the night. And maybe just to have something simple and repetitive to do to calm the wolf inside of me that seemed to be screaming, howling at me to do something. Anything. I didn't trust myself enough right now to be around others, to be around Sirius, without doing something foolish. So I cleaned. But the problem with doing such simple tasks was that it allowed your mind to run wild with you, without your permission. Years had already passed since that night, since Lily and James had been taken away. Since Peter died at the hands of the man that we had all trusted. That I had trusted with everything. That I lost everything because of. I've always tried not to think about that night, to push it away to far part of my mind and lock it in a little mental box, never daring to touch it while sober. Which during the early years after that night wasn't often. I keep the letters that you wrote in a secret place. Even after that night, I couldn't bring myself to get rid of the letters that Sirius had written me when we're young. They were some of the only things that I had back then tying me to the magical world, tying me to him. Getting rid of them felt like killing the boy that I had first met. The one that I had shared a dorm room with for 7 years and had become an animagus just to make the full moons a little bit easier so the scars wouldn't grow. It felt like killing the boy that I had fallen in love with. So I kept the letters even after that night. I kept all of his things, boxing them up and putting them somewhere where I wouldn't have to see them. But I kept the letter in my home, hidden beneath the floorboards as if I was still a child hiding something from their mother. Every now and then, I go down memory lane. Sometimes I was able to bring myself to look back on my school days, to remember everything that had happened within the safe halls of the cold castle. Sirius was always there, a constant ghost haunting every memory that has ever been worth anything. The only way I could ever look back on any of it was by separating the man that he would become from the boy that he had been in my mind. Only then could I smile at the pranks that we had pulled and James's relentless peruse of Lily, of Sirius's antics. Only then was anything bearable. October passed me by just like any month. One fall I remember hating myself when I had looked at the calendar and found myself well into the next month, October long enough past that the Halloween decorations were even up anymore. I drank myself to sleep that night and cursed my own name. But I still think of the times you took the breath out of my lungs. You don't have to run, mm. In the 12 years after the war, I tried to move on from it all. I withdrew from the magical world and lived in the mortal one. Tried falling in love even though I wasn't sure what it was anymore. But none of it felt right. Yeah, I got bitter when you got cold. And could you really blame me though? As the first war ragged on and everything started coming to a close, not that we knew that it was at the time, everyone's suspicions ran high. Just not mine. Back then I did the work that I was assigned to do, talking with the werewolves, researching prophecies. I did it all because it was my job, and I didn't talk about what happened, what I learned, because I couldn't. It was the same for the others as well, because of that I didn't think that anything was wrong. But then there were rumors of a spy within the order and Sirius started acting strangely around me. It wasn't long until the Dark Lord started coming after Lily and James, after their child. And Sirius grew even colder towards me. I wasn't even able to say goodbye before my friends were put into the safe house and Sirius was made the secret keeper. You couldn't really blame me for growing bitter at the end of it. 'Cause I'm still tied up when you go. Because I still loved him even after everything went down that night. You know this song is about you. Who else could it be? You were the first to make me feel like I was me. Just a memory. Sirius was the first person to make me feel okay about all of the things about me that I couldn't change, to make me feel like me. My anger wasn't an issue, it was fuel for my magic. My scars weren't something to be ashamed of, but were beautiful to him. The wolf inside of me was just another part of me. But then all of that just faded into another memory. It wasn't all good, yeah, it wasn't all pretty. Lost our grip while trying to go steady. Holding on to you like, maybe, one day we'll meet. I met you at the wrong time, didn't want to see. I was busy with the stars, you were looking at me. For better or for worse, I don't know, but for what it's worth. I made you my whole world. I made you my whole world. Screaming at the top of my lungs, I love you, my boy. Always in the back of my mind, you'll be my boy. Time went on and eventually everything came to light, what really happened that night. But that didn't really fix anything. I was still bitter, now I just had different reasons to be so. Sitting across the table from Sirius, or next to the man on the couch while reading a book, I would sometimes be struck with the knowledge that we had done this, time and time before in our own home, but that back then when I felt safe next to him, he thought that I was a spy. He thought that I was willing doing things to get our friends, the only people that ever accepted me wholeheartedly, killed. They didn't tell me that they changed Peter to the secret keeper because Sirius had believed that. I've always had anger issues, ever since I was little and the wolf found me, and right now it was easier to be angry with him than to let myself love him. I burned the letters and went to sleep.